Hello and welcome to Get Tailored. Form fit yourself to your soul. I'm Heather Taylor and this is Adriana Farina, my partner in crime.
Oh,
And it is a crime. We made Cliff wait 2 whole weeks to put his own song choice up. All I
yes.
have is M.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You have to tell them because
Okay, so the M. So before the show, guys, Cliff says, if there's anything you want to highlight, you guys just push the M button and then we'll know in post editing, in post to put up what you highlight. And what did Adriana and I do?
immediately we're like M because we're little pranksters and we all like to play and poke at each other
Oh
with
my
love.
gosh. Plus, how much fun would it be if in post Clip was like, what the hell? I'm highlighting everything that's not an M.
Yeah, basically, I feel like it would be a really long phone call that we would receive. We would
Or
be
a short one because we wouldn't answer the phone.
right. We'd be together not answering the phone.
We'd be
That's
like, is it the twins? No,
yeah.
it's Cliff.
We'll answer for the girls only.
So I have to say, I like it. It's sultry. It's sexy, Cliff. So for the next
Mhm.
2 weeks, guys, this is going to be the intro.
So
And the last 2 weeks was Adriana's creation, which was Welcome to the Thunderdome. Can we get a sample of each one for everybody to choose which they like better?
yeah, that'd be fun.
Come on, Cliffy Cliff.
So let's do a little backstory. So basically, we've been on this journey to recreate a song. There's a specific song that Heather is wanting because of the vibe of it. So we're trying to kind of like refine that vibe and that
And we
flow.
can't use the song
Yes,
because it has
because
so many licenses from so many different companies
yeah.
that it literally would take us a year just to get the approval. So continue.
Oh, so I playing around, not a music person, was like, I'm going to see if I can come up with something on AI. So we came up with, as a joke, Welcome to the Thunderdome, because I don't know if you heard our first episode. We basically tell everybody and initiate them into the Thunderdome, which is our life. Our life is the retreat of the Thunderdome, basically. And yeah, Cliff hates the song, which I love so much.
But he hates it because it was made by AI and he's a musician and he
Yes.
feels
Yes.
disrespected by the fact that I chose and Adriana created an AI song. So Cliff's whole thing was, I'm going to pick the song. So
Yeah.
nobody knew what the song was going to be. And today's show is the song he chose, which is not AI generated. So I want to, without further ado, give example of the first
Mm,
2 weeks, Adriana's Thunderdome AI song, and Cliff's created non-AI song for the next 2 weeks. And I encourage and invite everybody to put your votes in and to list any songs you want us to do, because until we find the right intro song, we're going to continue changing it every 2 weeks.
because we
Go
can,
ahead.
and it's fun.
Okay, Thunderdome me.
Welcome to the theater. Welcome to the Thunderdome. Welcome to the Thunderdome.
I pressed a lot of M's. I just want you to know.
I love that I'm like the least musically inclined person on the team. I'm like, here's my song.
All right, Cliff, give
Let's
us
go.
your song. Like I'm in LA.
Walking down the
Convertible.
street. Yeah, huge sunglasses.
My head's bobbing.
It's fun. I like it.
I actually
It's
really
kinda
like it.
sassy.
What do you think?
Oh, that's for later. No, I'm just kidding.
So, for those of you that can't hear Cliff, who's in the back producing all of this and popping up silly shit while we're talking to you, he basically said he expected more backlash. I'm actually impressed. I liked it. I thought it gave a totally different vibe. It was kind of like cruising. I felt like I was cruising down PCH, top down, thinking I'm 20 years younger.
Yeah. I was just like, I'm like walking down the street somewhere with huge glasses. I don't know where I'm going, but I am walking with purpose, you know? I
Because
liked
you
it.
can't walk with purpose if you don't have big ass sunglasses, right?
Totally. It's just a law of nature.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is really fun. You guys put some songs up there. I want to thank Amy last week. I love the song that you picked. I thought it was a really good song for an episode that's going to be a little heavier and heartfelt, although I'm light and airy and ridiculous. So it's usually going to have some kind of fun lightness. But there are moments when we're doing the show and we're really talking about some real things. And I feel like the song Amy submitted is really going to be perfect for that. And when we do use it, I will definitely let you guys know that it was her pick. So what do we have? What happened last week? Last week was what? A recorded episode
With Carrie.
With Carrie for our first episode ever of Get Tailored, which was a members only episode. So all the ones that we posted in the beginning in 2023, you couldn't see it live unless you were part of the membership. And so this year we decided, you know what? Let's just put it all out there, man. Let's have fun, have a good time. And anybody that was a member during that time, if you haven't heard from me yet and you are interested and you want to get that gift, because we really wanted to create a fair exchange for the people that invested in that membership, that were getting something unique. So we're like, hey, if we're going to put that membership out there, how can we give back to our people? So what we're doing is we're sending gift packages and just kind of thank you gifts for being a part of the journey and a part of the growth and a part of the realness, and just thank you. And I think that's kind of important.
Absolutely. I love that.
Yeah.
So you had Carrie on. It was you, Carrie, and Ruben.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Which is always a fun time. Watching that episode back, I'm always like, gosh, I just love Ruben. He's so fun. He's just fun.
With his green alien in the background. Yeah. I have a green alien story. Me and Adriana both do. And I want to wait until I can get Ruben. You know, I think Ruben is actually doing something. I think he's traveling right now. I don't remember. I got to reach out, but I want to have him on the show and tell that story. And I don't want to tell the story till he's on the show, because it just is so much about the things that he talks about and he experiences. And I think it was awesome. We met a green alien, to be continued. ... And we have witnesses.
Yeah, so
kind of nice.
Right. So Ruben is from Interview with Ed, right? So he was your co-host for your, like, we're gonna call it your first season of Get Tailored. And then Carrie is someone who you've been friends with for a while. And so you have
Carrie's amazing. And so is her husband. And they're just a beautiful couple. And they're really heartfelt. And they're really conscious about their journey. And they really show up for themselves and allow themselves to go through the medicine. And so I feel like, you know, we can be conscious about a lot of things, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we're allowing ourselves to show up for those things. Like we can be like, oh yeah, I'm aware of that, but you know, I'll take care of that next week, or it's not bothering me now, so I'm not going to put a lot of energy into it today. And, you know, Carrie really strikes me as the kind of person where it's like, she's paying attention to what's showing up in her life, and then she's applying what she needs to apply. And she also is someone that I noticed doesn't ever put forever on things, but she has this graceful boundary with herself. And, you know, the book, The Devil's Yoga, which you can buy online at gettailored.love and purefigbalance.love, which is linked together. But the Devil's Yoga book is really about discernment. It's about karmic entanglement. It's about being in awareness of self. And it's about being aware when you're being duped. You know, I mean, what are we attracting? We're attracting ourselves. We're attracting what we're learning. We're attracting what we're teaching, you know, in our life every day. No matter what you believe in, our body's response when we're moving through our life is cause and effect. You know, we show up in an action, we receive a result. And so her book is really about being able to discern for yourself and spot that out when you're being surrounded by false light. And, you know, that's a really big thing, because a lot of times I'll have people, I mean, I live in Mount Shasta. I got people coming in all the time like, oh my gosh, I just needed a safe place to lay down. Can I lay by your tree, or can I play a drum, or I just want to be, or can I have some tea? Or sometimes they don't even speak. They're just so in a space where they just come and they're just like, I just need a minute. And a lot of it is places like, the south of France, or Mount Shasta, or Sedona, or Glastonbury, or these spiritual hubs, right? These spiritual energetic systems. They have different types of communities, and a lot of times people aren't sure what kind of community they're walking into. And they might, like, I had a girl come and she went to a retreat, and the first thing they did was have everybody take a drink of tea. This was not in Shasta. This was actually in Berkeley. And they were in the Berkeley forest, and she came to retreat, and she sat down and she had a drink of tea, and then she took herself on a journey. She didn't know she was in an ayahuasca retreat. She thought she was in a yoga retreat because they advertised it as yoga. So she comes into my friend's shop in San Francisco, who's so much more than my friend. He's like my dad, my mom, my family. And he came into his shop, and I happened to be there. I mean, how often am I in San Francisco? And I happened to be there, and he's like, I think you need to talk to her. And, because he's like, I'm not sure what you drank. So then we sat and talked, and it was like she went on a journey without her consent. She thought she was literally drinking tea. So I feel like this is that discernment. People are speaking in code, they're speaking in other languages, they're using other words. And someone that is like, hey, I just want to go to a retreat, I want to do some yoga, I want to do some breath work, I want to do some meditation. Yeah, sure, I want green tea. I mean, I don't know about you, I drink tea every day.
To me, it seems normal.
Right.
Yeah, we're coming on a yoga retreat, having a glass of tea. Like,
right.
That's something we would do, but it would actually be tea.
Right. Well, it wasn't not tea.
Yeah, right. Touche. That's a good point.
Oh, it just wasn't scary. The tea that
yeah,
kind of tea you want to know before you take a drink of it.
It's consent tea. Consent tea.
So before we get drawn into that even further, the point is that sometimes we go to places and maybe we aren't aware, or maybe we didn't take that step, or maybe we're so excited about being in that new space, we forget to ask. And I think that's really important. So being in this space of awareness and being able to discern and understand what karmic entanglement is. One of the things that we were talking about is, and I believe it was one of the things I said last week, introing the first episode, was about what is it that we need to untangle in ourself? Where's our self-entanglement? Where are we karmically entangled with ourselves? Where have we created a story that's constantly creating the same answers and same results? Because why? We aren't even aware anymore. We created a story around it. We aren't even aware anymore that we're totally freaking attached to something. And for some people, it might be money. For some people, it might be relationships. It can have whatever face, you guys, but the foundation of it is the same. It's that story that we told ourselves. So we're constantly having the same reaction or response because that's what feels normal until one day it doesn't anymore. And then we go, oh crap. We are continuously having the same experience with different people because we created a story for ourselves to create that result. And I think karmic entanglement is a really big part of that, because we can absolutely be karmically entangled with ourselves.
I feel like that was me all of our whole Vegas trip.
Oh, you're hilarious.
A personal karmic entanglement.
Except for when we met that kid. Dude, I feel like the whole reason I was in Vegas was to sit beside that kid.
Yes. Absolutely. That makes sense.
It's such a God thing, like such like a divine intervention. This needs to happen kind of moment.
Yeah. So do you want to say a little bit about like our little Mad Hatter tea party that we had unintentionally?
I love that.
I think you only have to press it once, but I think a few times is more fun.
It's so much fun.
And I have to say,
Mad Hatter. Hello, Mad Hatter.
Oh my gosh. So
You
yeah,
forgot the
so
monster.
oh my, I know. So okay, so we're in Vegas. We had been playing like slots just because that's what we've always done when we're like out at places
Yeah,
like
and we
that.
barely played. Remember, we took the $100. We were next to the ATM. We took the $100. We put the $100 in. We hit max bet once and won $1,700.
Yes, it was
It was
amazing.
crazy town. We
Yeah.
were like, "What the actual fleck just happened?"
Yeah.
So then we're like, "All right, cool." And we end up going to the tables, which never happens because
Yeah.
that requires a lot of commitment.
Well, and
So
it just to me, the tables, like there's other people there, right? So there's more pressure and it's like I can't just sit and like
oh,
loiter
yeah.
like I'm
And
used
you're
to
in
at the slot.
Vegas, so you got professional
Yeah.
players that are, like, evil eyeing you because you don't know how to play. Like,
I think
I was sitting at the
yeah.
table, I'm like, "Do I hit it? Do I stay? I don't know what to do. Someone tell me what to do." And then Callie, my daughter Callie, you guys, is at the end of the table. And she's collecting $25 chips. And they're all, "What are you doing?" She has this stack and she goes, "I want every animal."
Yeah, she's like over there collecting animals because she wants to bring she has
She
like
has
an animal for each person
and then
that
the
she was
guy
like
at the end of the table, what was his name? Jolian? I think it was
something
Jolian.
like that.
So
Yeah,
he's a
so
professional player, you
yeah.
guys. We are not. I think I've
No.
sat at a table maybe 3 times. So we go to the thing, and he's at the end of the table, and Callie tells him, "Oh, I'm collecting animals because I want to give one to each family member when I go home." So she has no intention of doing anything but collecting $25 chips every round. So she's betting $25 every round to keep the animal, and she's missing a pig and a dog, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
No, it's a pig and a dog because she gave me the pig, and I was like, "What? Do I oink?"
Yeah, right. You're like, what? And I got the lamb and I was like, oh, the sacrificial lamb or like the sweet, soft, loving lamb? Which lamb
Dude,
did I get?
I had a dream last night of a mama
Mhm.
lamb, 2 baby lambs, and like a Nova-sized lamb. And I was coddling the mama lamb. Put a pin in that. We need to talk about it later.
MMM.
So maybe I was holding you.
Maybe I could use it sometimes.
Do you need a bit of coddling?
Maybe I'll be there tomorrow. Please. Coddling.
I know,
Coming up
huh?
to
Watch a chick
Shasta.
flick and have some cuddle time. I'm
Oh,
down.
you know what's funny is like at this season of life, like that's like my dream night is like chilling with my besties, really good snacks. You
Oh,
know, I
yeah.
love a good cheese plate.
Dude,
Okay.
Tina freaking
So,
hooked it up. Like, she
oh, I
literally
bet.
said salami, and I was like, "Did you just say salami?" Like, I'm
Um,
super down for cheese and salami.
um, so okay, so we're squirreling off a little bit.
Yeah, which
So
is perfect. So anyway, so we're at this table and the
yeah.
Jolien guy's sitting there, and then next to me is this kid Chase, and I'm like ready to leave, but I've been on this journey since Ireland for over a month, and
Mhm.
I've been on this literally Alice in Wonderland journey. Like, no freaking joke. Had a lady that hadn't seen 11 years, didn't realize till I ran into her again that she looks exactly like the caterpillar in Alice in Wonderland. Even her glasses are the same. She is freaking a druid shaman. And do you know what she does? She smokes a piece of your essence, goes to bed, has a dream, and tells you her reading. And I was like, holy crap, I'm with the caterpillar right now. So now we're in Vegas, and I just came back from that trip, and I'm sitting next to this young kid. His name is Chase. He's getting ready to go to Major League Football. He's literally in Vegas to go to the majors. And the other guy, Julian, he is a professional gambler. That's what he's here for, is Texas Hold'em. So the lady that is dealing the cards, she is a tiny little short version of the Mad Hatter.
And her name was Alice too.
And her name was Alice. That's right.
It was
Oh
a
my gosh.
super trip.
Totally
So I like
crazy.
saw her name. I was like, oh, you can't make this up.
So we start having this seriously intentional conversation. Like, it is no longer about cards, not that it ever was when the 3 of us showed up,
Mm-mm.
but we're sitting there. Callie's collecting her animals. Adriana's watching what's going on. And I'm sitting there tripping out like, is this real? Because we're having these serious, real conversations where none of us are even caring about whether we're putting a chip down at this point. We just want to spend time with each other because we're having these powerful conversations. So this kid Chase is next to me and he leaves. He's like, I need to go upstairs and eat. You know, he's football. So he's on his regimen. So this guy sits down, and as soon as and he was kind of laughing with us and being jokey, but as soon as his wife showed up, we were like, oh, he's leaving. And then this other guy came and sat in Chase's spot, and he was not a fit. He was about gambling, it was about money, it was about all this stuff. And none of us at the table were in that space. We were cracking jokes, we were being ridiculous. Callie was taking her little animal creatures across the table.
Right. Well, and at one point too, Julian, he even like put down a hand
For
to
Chase.
play for Chase,
Yeah,
because like
so
when the
the-
four of us or the five of us were at the table, like I don't know if you felt this way, but it felt like there was nothing around us anymore.
we
Like
weren't
when
even
we were there,
there.
we just like locked in. Yeah, it was really, it was
Totally.
a trip.
Oh my gosh. So this guy's sitting there, and I don't know what I got into me, but I looked at him and I said, "It's okay, buddy. Not everybody can sit in our circle because we're, I said it differently, but I basically like was, it's okay, like we get it." And I
We're
kind of
intelligent,
rubbed his
you know?
arm. I was like, "You're okay." And then he leaves. And then all of a sudden I look at Julian and I'm like, we need Chase back. Like, where's Chase? So then all of a sudden Julian puts a bet down for Chase, like betting on his behalf. And here comes Chase walking down
Right
the
there.
freaking aisle. We played that hand and we all decided we aren't here to play. We just need to go outside and have conversations. And we had like these real life, amazing, epic, out of this world, nothing that you would ever say would happen in Vegas, but it happened for us. And I feel like it's because of what we choose in our life. And we choose to manifest those kinds of people because they're also manifesting us. It's like energy, right? Frequency. We match the frequency we choose to vibrate at.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like it's almost weird when I go somewhere and I can't find people that I connect with. I'm like, this is like, okay, I'm like, I don't know what this means, but maybe I'm just not supposed to be here because I'm just not resonating with anything. Like, I'm not meeting people, I'm not talking to anybody, or if I am, it's very surface. And that always kind of trips me out.
See, I
Because-
wonder, is it because it's somewhere that just doesn't resonate with you being there anymore, or if it's part of like the process of you being the observer of other energy?
Maybe a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's like hand in hand. But I don't know.
I think it's got to be both, because if my purpose, right, I choose my purpose to be an example of who I choose to be, right? To be the example of me. And my prayer is that inspires people to be the example of who they choose to be. My sons, my daughters, my friends, my people, whoever's in my life, whoever doesn't know me. Maybe you're seeing it right now on the show, man. We're pushing the M on this baby. Yeah. Maybe what it's about is really just asking ourselves, like, am I showing up as the example of me in the way I want to? And do I have an attachment? I think that's the big thing. Like when we're talking about last week with, all the things of karmic entanglement and discernment, and there was a couple other things you mentioned that we were going to talk about this week, about last week. And I feel like they all go in hand with, like, how are we choosing to show up? But even deeper, what are we attached to that's impacting how we show up? Like, I was with a friend today and he was like, Heather, I'm constantly attracting this type of situation and relationship. And it's like, yeah, dude, like, what is it in you? Like, instead of doing a reactionary step, let's do some homework on it and see what happens for you in that space. And I feel like that's a big part of what we're doing here is, what is it in us that we're having an attachment to? And we talked about this the first week, right? It's attachment versus connection, attachment versus choice. And a lot of times there's this whole attachment to an aspect, but we're open in the other. Like for me, I want to be financially supported in my life no matter what I do. Who doesn't? Right? I want to be financially supported as long as money is part of the exchange. I am calling spirit in saying, hey, I'm walking this path. I'm showing up where I need to. I'm doing the things I'm being asked. I'm a super hardworking person. I'm going to trust the process that I'm fully supported no matter what. Right.
Mhm.
However, I was in Elk Grove on my way to my parents, and I met this lady, and she was doing not these nails, but she was like cleaning my nails, doing my nails. And she did this amazing job. And I was sitting with her and I asked her, I said, "Are you doing your soul's path?" And she's like, "What?" And I said, "You're sitting here, you're doing my feet, you're doing my nails. Is this something that you want to do? Or is this something that you feel you have to do in order to support your child and your life?" And she says, "Everybody's jobs are jobs they have to do. Nobody does what they love." And my heart like hurt, because in her reality, in her truth, in her example, in what she's teaching her employees, her coworkers, her children, her whole life, is that it doesn't matter if you love what you do or not, because you just have to survive.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the example of that.
No.
That is not what I'm here to do. I'm just not. And I feel like when she said that and I felt it in my heart, it was like so clear that there was not a single thing I could say to her that would open her. And I tried. I was like, "Okay, well, let's say you had all the money in the world. What would you do?" She couldn't answer it.
Oh, wow.
It was like she couldn't even fathom having enough support to not have to worry about being supported. And I
That's
just
so
thought,
interesting.
right?
So it's interesting you bring this up because, and this is funny, like us just being on the same page, because one of the things that I was thinking about, reflecting on, like, what can we talk about, right? One of the things
Which is hilarious. Have you met us?
yeah, we'll find stuff. It's not an issue. But
Okay.
I was just kind of thinking about it, and I've been noticing a lot behind the chair, a lot of stuff like this, where I'm really seeing like, oh, okay, like this person's locked into this. Like, and it's funny because it's around a lot of health stuff, because I just have a really firm belief that there's like nothing our body can't heal from. Like, I just believe our bodies are infinitely able to like heal itself. And
And
I
regenerate
actually,
itself.
and I feel like I've really brought that into like my soul recently. Like, I really am like, this is a belief that I'm embodying. But I'm starting to really notice behind the chair how many people are talking about different family members or themselves. And it's just that same thing you're talking about, where it's like, nope, this is it. This is how it's going to go. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to love you on this journey. But it's like, for me, it's been really interesting because I'm like, oh my gosh, I wholeheartedly feel differently on this. And so it's been an interesting like, I'm going to say growth moment for myself, because normally I'm like, come on, are you sure? Here's the aminos and here's this and I just went, okay. Like, it was an awareness, and I was like, okay,
Oh man, we're going
yeah,
into the health space. I have
let's do
been
it.
on the fence of sharing with this, but I really think this is prominent. I have a friend that was my friend a very, very, very long time. And she ended up getting sick, and she called and wanted me to help her and to bring her stuff. And I said I would. And then everything she was talking about was not in self-help. It was just in the, this is it, this is what I'm doing, F you sickness and just all this stuff. And I was like, man, I could bring her all the prayers, all the supplements, all the good water, all the whatever. And she has totally chosen her result. And so I waited, and she didn't call back, and I didn't send her anything. And it was really hard for me because, I would talk to her throughout our life, and she would talk to me about what was going on in her life. And I would be like, okay, do you want me to just listen, or do you want support? Like, I was always very kind of tiptoey with her because, most of the time she just wanted someone to listen, and I didn't want to overstep. And, I mean, I'm into all kinds of stuff. I like teas, I like herbs, I like supplements, I like Western. I'm a little bit of all of it. So whatever people choose, I think is perfect. But she wasn't choosing. The only thing that she was choosing was to die. And that's exactly what happened. And, in the beginning of it, 2 years before, I did actually send her a care package and I did send her some good stuff and some stuff to help the kids. So when she called me later and was like, "Hey, can you send me this and this and this?" It was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that because you're not going to do anything with it. The best thing I can do is hold space for you." And I think circling back to the financial space of the world, it's the same thing. I had a client come to me and say, one of my biggest struggles, and she's like pretty freaking well known and popular. And she was like, one of my biggest struggles is like, I want to charge these certain amounts, but then I get this whole kickback about how, you can't be charging for spiritual things and blah, blah, blah. And so I was kind of telling her, like, and it's not blah, blah, blah. Forgive me for that. I'm not trying to push it off. Um, what I was trying to tell her was, hey, if we're doing something in our life that we believe in, we're investing in ourselves. Whatever we're putting into it, we're putting into ourselves. If it's something that we don't feel guided to invest in ourselves for, then we have no business doing it. So if a client is saying, "Hey, I can't pay this amount of money," and they don't qualify for the scholarship program, which I don't know that she has that. I do, because I was a single mom, man, and I know how hard it is. And sometimes the issue we're trying to heal from is finances, right? So
Yeah.
we need that support. And I really am a firm believer in that, which is why I do the scholarships, but not everybody does that. And I feel like the biggest thing is that people have this hang up on financial exchange because it's being, to me, in my opinion, it's being misunderstood for money is a frequency of love. Whatever we're investing in, paying a bill, going to a course, doing a retreat, buying a pair of Louis Vuittons, buying a cheap backpack, whatever we're investing in, we're investing in the love and value of that thing, period. And that thing is a love of us, of ourselves. So when I go and get my son an expensive pair of shoes, I'm investing in the fact that if I bought him two cheap shoes, I'd be paying 5 times as much for the cheap ones than the good ones, because he's a skateboarder and he goes through his shoes every month. Right. So I'm valuing my investment into his skateboarding and shoes by loving myself enough to make what makes sense. That makes sense to me. If I want to go to a retreat and I want to get some self healing, or maybe I want to network and connect, I'm investing in myself. I'm investing in myself to go to that ceremony. I'm investing myself to go to that. And unfortunately, guys, or fortunately, however you see it, right now that's an exchange of energy in the world, and people can't bring who they are unless they are supported in bringing who they are. It's just what happens. And this woman, she is just such a beautifully gifted lady, and it's like, damn, I would pay your fee, but maybe what we need to look at is not the fact that people aren't wanting to invest in what you're doing. Maybe it's what kind of guests or clients are you attracting.
Yeah, and how is that showing where you're at with your self-worth? Like, do you
Right.
feel like you are worth what you're charging? And if you don't, you're going to keep attracting people who are going to tell you, if I'm on the right page,
No,
but who are going to
totally.
tell you that, like, hey, you're not worth this, so that you can be like, actually, screw that. I'm probably worth more. Because one thing I know about you is when you go into those spaces, you're like, actually, I think you should be charging way more than what you're charging, and you might get better feedback, you know?
I was actually helping somebody with their rates,
I
and
had
she
a
was
feeling.
charging the littlest amount. And I was like, dude, the cost of the supplies you're putting into that costs more than what you're charging. You're
Yeah.
literally paying out of pocket for this retreat because you're afraid to charge. I said, don't go crazy. Don't go charging a crazy amount, but at least charge the value. And you know what's really hilariously funny is I did that my whole career until Ben came into my life. And
Mhm.
Ben came into my life and he started doubling everything. And I started panicking. And I was like, what? And he's like, dude, what, even doubling it isn't even equal to what you get out of your stuff. And I was like, I don't care. What if they're a single mom? So then the meeting in the middle was a scholarship.
Yeah.
Right. So anything that anybody purchases that has to do with Get Tailored or Perfect Balance, part of it goes into a scholarship, and people get to apply and participate in the retreats or participate, or maybe they do a partial payment. It just depends on where they're at and what they need. But for me, it's about who do I work with? Accountable, take action, teachable people. That's it. That's it. Nowhere in there says you have to have a pocketbook.
Yeah.
Are you accountable? Are you teachable? Do you take action when taking action even means to do nothing? That's the three things. Anything else we can work with. And I think that's the thing that causes a lot of trip up with people that are doing self-help things or retreats or different types of things that aren't tangible in your hand things, because they're like, shoot, I have to make this much in order to continue doing what I'm doing, but I also don't want to turn people away. Then create a scholarship program. You don't want to turn people away? Create an opportunity for those that are struggling with their finances. Create an opportunity for them to find another way so that we can all move with equality through the world together. Because one of the things that I truly am noticing, and correct me if I'm wrong, Adriana, is that the world is definitely going through a financial evolution, and it's definitely changing, and exchange is showing up in a different way.
I totally agree. And I feel too, what I love is I'm seeing, people wanting to support the smaller businesses, wanting to support, the people who are just like trying to kind of get
The
them
little guys.
started. Yeah. And I love that. They're like, screw the big companies. Like, they're not taking care of us. Like, they're not, like, that's like the vibe I kind of hear a lot. Right. I feel like I'm behind the chair. So I hear a wide spectrum of opinions. But I feel like I hear that a lot, and people want to take care of the little people, the little guys.
Well, and the thing is, for me, is I don't think there's anything wrong with the big people. I love the big people. I'm aspiring to be a big person and be all grown up. What's that song? I'm a big kid now. Right? Did we push the M? So
I know I already pushed it like twice earlier.
I do it, but I want Cliff to know I'm doing it. So I'm like,
torture. Hey, you consent. Oh my God.
Oh, okay. Strike the big kid now song, because apparently, according to my Clifton, I'm not allowed to use it. It's only because I pushed the M, guys, and I upset him.
Really?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not clipping that one.
He's a hard no on that. But anyways, to kind of just put the cherry on top of this, one of the biggest things for me in this whole space is like, I want to be a big, huge, ginormous corporation, but you know what I want to be? I want to be a giant corporation of little corporations. I want to be a giant company of little companies. It's only big because there's so many of us, and we're all sovereignly running our own spaces, and we're helping each other, and we're doing it together. And that's what the Get Tailored Form Fit Yourself to Your Soul is about. That's what Purific Balance is about. That's what Lives in a Lifetime, the Everything and Nothing store is about. That's what Revival Freaking Beauty is about. That's what Cliftonite Acoustics is about. I could go on with the list of companies, and that's what we're here to do. How do we do this? We create a space for the 144. And that's where you guys, if you're interested in any of this is calling you, then please, I invite you, go in there, see if it resonates. Today, the most exciting thing happened today. We added a new company. And I am so freaking stoked. And I didn't even know I was building up to this. And I was wondering how it was going to organically come out. But this is what I'm talking about. So there's this guy. So, okay. We get to go back to the story.
We're now go back to Vegas. We're gonna rewind.
What is table. It's not, is it Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Oh, you're gonna lose me here. Don't ask me.
Oh gosh, what is it where they're like, no, it's Wayne, Garth.
This
Garth
is a Cliff
and Wayne
for sure.
Whatever. It's the dude to my sweet. He knows.
Yeah, I'm like, this is a Cliff. This is not.
Anyways, we're going back in time, and we're leaving Vegas because we were only in Vegas for a night to get Callie. We went, got Callie, and left. We had like a hub there because we had airport people flying in, But our whole thing was to go to Sedona, and it was $75 to fly into Vegas, and it was $700 to fly into Arizona. So we
So
were
we
like,
said
screw
Vegas
it.
sounds nice.
Vegas sounds nice. We're flying. So that's how the whole Vegas thing happened, is we didn't want to pay $700 a person. So we drive to Sedona, and freaking I had a list of meetings that I was supposed to have in Sedona, because right now I'm doing all kinds of stuff. We're doing New Living Expo, Conscious Life Expo, Lemurian Life Expo, which is our event. And Ruben's one of the co-founders in. So we're doing all these different things. Plus I'm doing international stuff. So I'm like, all right, cool. I want to see who resonates to come in. You know, we're welcoming investors. We're welcoming people that want to sell things. This is the 144. What are you? Who are you? And how do you want to be a part of us? And freaking let's do this. That's pretty much where me and Adriana and Cliff and Ben are at. So we freaking get to Sedona, and I had called a couple friends and said, hey, I've got meetings with these people and I don't know who they are. Is there anything I need to know? Because I'm going in blind. We get there, we meet with this amazing freaking guy who does the eye pyramids. And I just love him to bits. Like, first of all, he brought his kid to the meeting. And part of the welcome to the Thunderdome is like Tina, she's totally one of our soul family 144 people, freaking part of our whole team. She comes into our first meeting. And my daughter's her second meeting. My daughter, who lives in Germany, we will get back to the Sedona story, who lives in Germany, she freaking accidentally video calls me in the middle of our team meeting, and all you hear is vomiting.
Yeah, she was hurting. I've never heard that poor. I was like, oh, this is not
Tina
good.
goes, should we take a meeting break? Adrian is like, no, I got to see what happens. Is she okay?
Yeah, we're all like, no, we stay on the meeting for this stuff.
So when Jason showed up with his son, not only did I hear only amazing things about him, but when he showed up with his son, that was it for me. Like, I was like, soul family all the way. How can we collaborate and work together? But before he shows up, he has Logan, who works for him, and he was going to have us get in one of his pyramids while we were waiting and do the chakra thing, right? And I looked at him and I said, you know, when is he going to be here? And he's like, oh, 20 minutes. And I said, I don't want to get halfway through the chakra meditation and feel incomplete. And he's like, okay. And I was like, can you tune into us and pick something else, you know, like fill it out. So he chooses the most amazing Viking, druid, grounded, beautiful music. And we just all were like, just grounded. And we had just drove in the night before. And so we sit there. Jason shows up. We come out of the pyramid, and I'm sitting down, and I had to tell Jason, I was like, Jason, like, this guy that's working for you is so tuned in. He couldn't have picked a better song. Like, where he chose for us to sit, how he did it, he was so intentional and so from his heart. And I just feel like I need to say something. And then Jason says, thank you. Logan says, thank you. And then Jason says, well, you know, he's getting ready to leave for Sundance. And it ends up he's going to South Dakota, which is related to my journeys and my Ate and my Red Road. And so I'm like, what? And it turns out he's a firekeeper. And then we find out that this man makes the most incredible fans. Right here, guys. And what it is he will take months to make one fan. He literally waits for every piece. The handle, he finds the handle. Like, I got to take this off the thing. So the handle is a piece of wood he found. And he was like, oh, that would make a great handle. And then every single piece of this fan is something he found or acquired where he lives. And then he wanted to make sure he put the bells on there, which is so amazing. And then he's got the quartz and the mica and the Sedona moss. And then check this out. He took a rock, put the moss in it, and actually created a stand. And these are amazing turkey feathers.
It
right?
is such a work of art. Like they're beautiful fans.
Oh my gosh, there's
Beautiful.
another one that I wanted to have on, but my
Mhm.
guy said I could only have one. So I was like, can I just surround myself with fans? But he did single fans. So this is a pheasant fan, right? This one, which is like, I have my own story. Well, I'm a storyteller, I have a story for everything, but this is the scarlet macaw, you guys.
That's beautiful.
Macaws are the most amazing, 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 amazing birds. And then this one, you know, some people could say it might look like a middle finger, but I thought it looked like
The Hamza?
the Hamza. It does.
Yeah.
It's like a Spock Hamza. You know what I'm saying, Vern? I thought it's kind of awesome. And I love this because my Ate's bird, he gave me an entire peacock. And I was like, just amazing. And this here is called a pheasant peacock, a peacock pheasant. And I just thought, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. So I just wanted to show his art because he is now a part of our team. We are helping him as he shows up for us. And his business is called
Clearwater. There you go. Sorry, I didn't know if you had it. I
No,
have like
I wrote it down. What?
Oh, awesome. No, it's
Go
just Clearwater Creations. You can find them at Clearwater Creations on Instagram.
Is it Clearwater Creation or Clearwater
Creations.
Creations with an S? Okay.
Let me
Did
double
you,
check.
did you double check it?
I am now because it's Clearwater Creation, no S.
Clearwater, I thought it was no S. And then
Yeah.
I'm going to show you a little picture of him because he's just amazing. And I wanted a picture of him and his partner because she's just equally amazing. But look at this guy, you guys.
He's so sweet.
Isn't that it? That's the other fan I want to show you guys. It's freaking amazing. Look at that thing. So, anyways, his name is Logan. He's totally heart-centered. He's just an amazing soul, and we want to help him succeed. So, as soon as I saw what he was doing, and he sent us some photos and examples, really, of this fan, I was just like, man, how can I be of service? And that's what we're here to do. We're here to be of service to each other. So if you guys make a creation or you have something and you're like, hey, I want to freaking expand it. I want to put it in events. It's not in my budget to do booths and things like that, but I would love someone that I can trust to show up for that. That'd be awesome. The other thing is I have a tendency that Adriana talked about. I will usually increase your cost. Almost always. There's a couple people I got that they're pretty well dialed in, but a lot of times I'll have someone come in that is spending months or days or weeks creating something and they're charging $15 when it costs them $125 to make it or $300 to make it. And so one of the things we love to do, which is part of the 144, is help you to create your creation, put it out in the world, and be able to have a fair exchange. Because to me, money is love, and I'm all about love, and I want to make sure you're receiving it as well as giving it. It's a two-way street.
Absolutely. I love it.
I love it too.
Yeah.
Okay, now that we're through that whole space, I just want to hug this fan. But first,
I love those fans.
I want to try it.
So can you tell me a little bit about like fans? Like when would you use something like that? How would you use something
right
like that?
now?
Right. Like what can that do? Other than be like a gorgeous work of art. Oh my god. Who's gonna wrangle her in? Boys, and either of you want to hop on here? We left her unattended with props.
I know. Dude, we're doing props every week now.
Oh gosh, I know.
You're next week.
I'm getting big old glasses if that's our song. That's exactly what I'm doing.
I guess we get the same glasses. You put them on, and then I'll pretend like they're your glasses, and we'll teleport them, and then I'll put them on.
We'll have to practice that transition. I think we could do it.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Okay, so I am so excited. Speaking of what's going on with Logan, speaking of that's Cliff putting things in Adriana's hand to write down. Speaking of all these different things, talking about last week's show was really important because I feel like it's something that we're really working through right now. I feel like there's a lot of things happening in our own conscious world of awareness, and getting through that and recognizing ourself is really important. And so one of the things that has been something organically opening for me is people are requesting retreats. People are requesting to go a little deeper. My clients for a bajillion years call it the Heather experience. I'm not really sure, it's always different for everybody. They have their own experience. I think it's their own experience. But as you can tell, I'm a bit of a squirrel, and I always find my way back to the point, because that's what life is. It's about finding the direct path, but sometimes the direct path is the path that takes away the experience of the journey. And I was going down to Fairy Falls. I had a group. I just recently did a retreat in a group, and I was taking them down to Fairy Falls, and I realized that I kept taking this direct path. Like, it's quicker. It's quicker. It's quicker. I'm going to get down quicker. I'm going to get up quicker. Let's just get to the quicker route. And somebody else had taken the longer path. It was smoother. It wasn't as much of an incline. It was like this more enjoyable, but it took maybe 2 minutes longer. And suddenly I realized sometimes the direct path isn't always the most enjoyable.
Yes.
And I have been chewing on that for quite a while, because sometimes the direct path requires force. And the only time that I am interested in applying force is when forces flow. And if forces flow, it's merely movement. It's not force at all. And I feel like I was spiritually spanked, and I loved it. I mean, it was a good spanking, which doesn't happen very often, but it was a good spiritual spanking, because I was like, it was something so simple, right? She's just like taking the longer way, taking her time, totally enjoyment. And I'm like, nope, going straight up. And it was more strain on my back. It was more effort and work. And I was maybe a minute ahead of her. And does it matter if I'm ahead of her or not? No. I chose the incline because in my mind, we're circling back to health. In my mind, I was like, if I take the quickest path, it's going to be the least amount of force on my body. I'm just going to get there. And I had been traveling for months and tired. And at the end of the retreat, and physically feeling like, okay, I just want to, and here's the thing, you guys, here's the craziest part. I felt totally fine. It was my mind. I felt fine. My back felt fine. I felt energized. I felt good. I was loving who I was with. Everything was amazing. It was autopilot in my body to make that response, to make that reaction. So I encourage you to observe yourself and to see where you're doing that with you. Where are you like, where's the bottom line? We just need to get here. I've invested so much. I've done so much. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want this to happen. It's like every time you're doing that, you're literally putting a block in your path. And I wasn't even recognizing I was doing it.
Yeah.
Cue Adriana.
No, I had all sorts of stuff to say, but you got up to the camera and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, focus.
Do you understand?
Yeah, I hope you guys are paying attention, because this is being channeled through her right now. It's funny because I can always kind of tell, like, okay. Yeah, no, I love that. I feel too, like, on that note, something that I feel like I've been noticing a lot, like, especially when I've been up there, like, with you guys, is like, there's so many things that are just kind of like organically, like, they'll just like click in, and it's like, oh, like, I kind of felt that coming, or, oh, I kind of saw that like starting to enter into the space, and I didn't do anything about it. I just observed and like left it alone. And it's kind of cool, because I feel like I'm starting to tap into that a little bit myself, where it's like, oh, I'm just leaving it alone for a minute. Instead of like seeing something and taking action on it, I'm just seeing what happens. And then it's really cool, because then you see it just like, like when like cars like merge like a zipper on the freeway, like, and it's like this beautiful thing. You're getting on the freeway and you're like, wow, that was gorgeous. We all were where we were supposed to be. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like those moments in life kind of zipper like and merge. and you see what you saw coming and you didn't have to do anything about it.
I love that you're using the analogy of a zipper because all I keep seeing is pants coming together.
Oh, funny. Well,
Right?
that's kind of like I'm kind of like like manifesting my life because there's a
Girl,
few things that I'm
Heather,
sorting out right now.
I'm putting my pants on.
Yeah, there's a few things I'm sorting out right now. So I keep using that zipper reference because I'm like, okay, there's a few things. We're just gonna like a zipper, everything's gonna just come together. And so that it's very fresh on my mind because it's my manifestation visual. So
Your
um
manifestation visual is a zipper.
well, it was more like merging cars because you know
I
that
love
feeling when you're
that.
getting onto a freeway and everybody just like you're like there's few people at the same time and everything just locks in and it's just like because you're all in sync. Like that's what I'm manifesting for my life and the
Dude,
things
I
working through
so
it.
want when we do post, guys, I'm telling you, we're imming this. When Adriana is telling this section, I want a visual of some pants, just the
Oh
pants
my
and the
gosh.
zipper, and I want the zipper, and on each side of the pants are two cars, a blue
Yeah.
car and a red car. Did you take the blue pill or did you take the red pill? We took both pills, bitches.
They merged themselves. They became purple. Here we are.
We took, yes,
They
a
became purple.
purple pill. I mean, a
Yeah.
purple car.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, I love the zipper analogy. Think about it.
Yeah.
What do most women do when you're putting on pants? You're hoping you can get all your belly in there.
You sucking it in is what you're doing sometimes.
Right? How many chick flick movies, The Sister of the Traveling Pants, where you see them all laying down and they're like, just take a breath. But in the traveling pants, they're like, oh,
They just all fit.
yeah.
I love side note. I love like I saw this funny video the other day that was like, so wait, so there's these like pants and like you don't wash them, but like everybody wears them for like the whole summer and it's hot. And I was like, yeah, that is kind of gross, huh? But they're magic, so they must clean themselves too.
they
So
they magically clean themselves.
yeah, it just all works out.
Okay,
But yeah,
so
I
bring
think
your magic pants to our retreat. We're doing a
yes,
retreat in October. We're going to do it in Mount Shasta, which means we'll probably be in 3 or 4 other cities because when you do a Heather retreat, you never know where you're going to go. It's called the Mystery Retreat. What I can guarantee you, though, is you are going to see yourself in ways that maybe you haven't been looking. You are going to get a lot of confirmations. You're definitely going to have laughters, possibly tears, and you're going to have fun.
and you will be supported.
Yes.
You will be supported. However you experience or feel or whatever comes up, you will be supported through it.
However you want to be supported. Some people
Totally.
want to be supported by being left alone. Some
Mhm.
people want to put on your pants.
Totally. And so yeah, I love that. And I feel too like I love that you said that about the support because it's one of those things like I just kind of got this visual as you were talking of like, yeah, even if you're like, hey, I want to be left alone, like one of us is still going to have our eye on you to make sure you're okay, just because that's who we are. And by I mean like we're going to be aware of you and be like, I was like, okay, not in like in a boundary respecting way.
We're still gonna have our eye on you.
But well, it's out of loving care because it's like you might think you want to be alone, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I'm alone.
Which is such a natural process when you're going through things. And you know what? You might be a person that's like, hey, we always do is set an intention. So when you sign up for a retreat or you sign up or even you inquire, maybe you want your own personal retreat and you don't want to be in a group retreat. We totally do those. So one of the biggest things is what do you want? What are you looking for? What is the thing that you feel is your lowest hanging fruit and you just need a little support clicking it in? It might just be, hey, I want to go to Mount Shasta. I want to soak in hot springs. I want to be with like-hearted people and I want to have a good time. And I want it to be something that I can totally afford and that is a good, healthy exchange. Cool. Let's freaking create that space for you and show up and have a good time. Maybe it's like, hey, I've got some trauma and I have not been able to get this trauma to stop repeating itself in my life. I feel like I'm getting somewhere, but there's always remnants of it, whether it's in a relationship I'm with, a job that I get, being alone with myself, picking clothes. I mean, it could be something so simple. And you're like, damn, it's still showing up. Well, we're going to help you uncover that. We're going to say, what is the trauma? What is your attachment? Is it a connection that you've already made? And the thing is, and actually, a really amazing medicine man said this to me once. I was sitting with him. We were cleaning a bear hide, getting ready to make a drum. And I said, gosh, I just don't know what else I need to do inside myself to uncover this pattern that I continuously attract in relationships. And he stopped for a minute. There was a hawk flying. He told me, do you see the hawk? And I was like, yes. And he said, the hawk is the messenger and he's giving you an answer. And I said, okay, what's the answer? And he said, sometimes it is not a mirror, my dear. Sometimes it is the reflection of what you've already learned, and yet you haven't let go of it. And I was just like, oh my gosh, can we end that? Because it was such a freaking huge reality check for myself. I had been peeling the layers of me. Where am I not showing up? Where am I not healing my own trauma? Where am I consistently attracting this kind of marriage? Like, what in the heck do I need to do to have a partner that can be my partner and not try to change it or manipulate it or control it and just be there? And it was like, well, hey, you have to have that with yourself. You got to let go of your own mirror with yourself. If you're constantly doing this, where do you have time to just be? And sometimes taking action, like you said earlier, is just being.
Yeah. I feel like in those moments when I'm able to just be and I'm not ripping myself apart, I get clarity so much faster. Like the clarity comes way quicker and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, great." Like I'm so grateful that I didn't have to like rip myself apart and say all these mean things to myself to get there. I was able to just be like, "Okay, I'm aware of this. I'm seeing that I'm feeling this." And then yeah, sometimes the answer comes through and sometimes what I'm feeling isn't even about me. And that's been the fun part is I'm like, oh, this isn't even mine. Even
Oh,
better. Wait, this
I
isn't
don't
me.
know if I like that or not. You're like, it's
Don't
not
worry, I'll
even my
find other
shit.
things.
It's your
We're
shit.
still healing. We're still healing. We find stuff still. But in a specific subject, I was stoked because it wasn't me. But it showed me an attachment or where an attachment still is, but what I was feeling wasn't me. Like wasn't my energy. It was cool.
Yeah, I totally get that. I feel like sometimes what I'm experiencing isn't me, and I feel it so deeply that it's like it hurts to feel it. Like it hurts to have that. Like my son, for example, my younger son, he's in this weird space where his brother invites him sometimes, but mostly he's at home and he doesn't get to go with his brother. He just ended a friendship with his only friend that lived on the block. And so he's just so lonely. And I'm like telling his older brother, I'm like, Bubba, invite your brother sometimes, include him in it because I can feel his deep loneliness. Like even today when I called you at the house and then I had to put you on speaker, he was like, Mom, what are you doing? Don't leave me out of the tea. I want to know what you're talking about. It's like,
He's one of us now. We bypassed the brother and he's just now one of us.
I know. We're just like, come on, Rye, let's go.
Yeah.
So I feel like one of the biggest things is having the discernment and not karmically entangling. This is that karmic entanglement with your emotion.
Okay.
Like, are we observing what we're seeing and are we stepping into that or are we just like not stepping into it? And stepping into it doesn't mean we have to take action. It just means we need to be aware. And I feel like part of being aware is living your damn life. I think so many people are so busy peeling their layers back that they forget that they're living a life and they miss the important things like chilling with my little dude and him being like, hey, Mom, and being able to crack jokes with us and, having game night and having all these sacred times. Like, I have to tell you, like, you guys, we love helping other businesses succeed. And we spent 15 months building somebody else's company. And the four of us, me, Ben, Cliff, and Adriana, really bled, sweat, and tears it for 15 months. And one of the biggest things is that, we're building it in our own way to give it this space, but all we can do is be ourselves, right? And build it the way we build it. And I'm definitely eclectic. I'm definitely out of the box. I definitely don't see things the way most people do. And I am truly the Heyoka of Heyokas, which is what I was cracking a joke about today, which means I am a backwards person. Whenever I'm at Sweat Lodge, I'm passing the Chanupa the wrong direction. I'm entering the wrong way. It's always been that way for me. And I feel like what that's taught me is the opportunity for me to see the way the majority moves because it's beautiful and functional, but also to be that person where my box is not having a box because it allows that example and it allows that flow, right? It allows this other duality of understanding. But my point is we were building this company and the people that we were building it for, they're very old school corporation kind of people, which is beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. And what Adriana and I were talking about when we were decided, okay, it's been 15 months, it was a year project, we took it 5 months or 3 months over, it's time. So when we did, one of the things that Adriana was talking about was like, we had to go back in Trello because now we're like, hey, we need to like launch pad all of our stuff. We have our own stuff.
Recognize.
we got to organize.
Lock in, as Callie would say. We got to lock in.
Totally. So now we're like, oh my gosh, we have our own stuff that that's ready to go. And we need to focus on that. So when we did, we had to get back into Trello, structure, organization, corporate America, holy shit, right? All these airy fairy things I want to do, but we have to have that grounded fundamental part. And I think that's really super important. And so what we were recognizing and understanding in ourselves, at least I can't speak for you, but I feel like I can, is we want to freaking do it together. Yeah. Whatever the hell we're doing, whatever company we're helping, whether it's our own or somebody else's, we want to do it together because the freaking team is what makes it fun.
Well, I know you guys are my attachment that I'm still working through. I'm still working on my attachment to you guys.
Oh my gosh.
At least it's not a blind spot though. I'm aware of it. I'm aware that I'm attached. And
so like, how do we turn it into choice connection?
Well, I'm figuring it out. We're working on it. I think it's an Adriana internal thing. But anyways, it's just funny because I was thinking about it earlier. I was like, damn it, I'm still attached.
Ooh, okay. I want to take a little dive into this. Can we?
Okay. Yeah.
Look at her eyes got big. She's like, oh shit, why'd I say that?
Hey, this is a great example of getting tailored. MMM.
He's never going to tell us what letter it is again, and he's going to change.
It's okay, I'll just press all of them. That's fine. I'll turn the live stream on top on that. It's great.
They're going to be like, how is the Get Tailored show? Well, I learned MMM.
They're like, they said M a lot, but I'm like, let's look up the numerology of M. Like, there's a sign in here,
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay, so let's
dive in.
Where's your attachment?
I just love
you guys. What is the attachment of it?
I love you guys, and I really want to keep working together. Like, I have a lot of fun. Like, I was thinking, it's funny. So knowing that we were going to talk about retreats, I was thinking about our first retreat, baby's first retreat, which was intense. You guys, of all retreats that I went on for it wasn't a retreat. It was not.
It was the freaking Thunderdome's Thunderdome of the Thunderdome.
It was intense, but in like the best way. And it was intense because I had stayed on a little after the retreat to do like a few other things with you guys. But that was where our love connection, I mean, I was already like loved you guys, but I didn't meet the whole team. So that was where like my love connection really formed because I was like, this is crazy. I want to keep going and I want more. And I always say like, I'm not quitting mid-season. Like they're still putting out episodes. So I think like I was thinking about it today and just everything that we've done and how crazy our life is sometimes, but like in the best way. And sometimes like for me, my mental block is I feel like sometimes I feel like I should be like, this is crazy. I need to get safer or whatever. I kind of close it down. But I was thinking about it and I had this moment where I was like, no, it's so fun. And I I couldn't imagine doing this kind of stuff. Like there's nobody else I want to do this with. And so I'm kind of like, maybe it's an attachment to the experiences, but it's also like, I love you guys and I feel really
Well, the
safe.
question
And so it's the
is it
safe.
a healthy love that is a chosen connection? Or is it something that has an attachment? Like, are you really attached or are you trying to figure out the difference between attach and choice? Because I feel like
We already know the answer to that. Adriana's learning relationships in real time. You guys get to watch me learn relationships live.
Oh, I cannot wait till you go on your first date.
Oh my God. I'm not ready for that yet. Actually, whatever. I'm open. I'm whatever about it.
She's open.
No. They're like, put that on her Tinder profile ASAP.
Why'd you
Which
pick Tinder?
I don't know. Somebody said Tinder earlier. I had a client who like,
because that new thing. What is it called? I don't even remember.
anyways. But yeah, I feel like it's choice for sure. But there is a little fear of like, oh my God, like what if it comes back to the worth of like, what if are we gonna say this out loud live? So like, what if I'm not good enough to be here? Or what it's like that wound that I am still effing working through. But I feel further along on that journey than I've ever been. But it is a little bit of like with everything that we're doing, like I feel like I'm learning so much skills, so many life skills and career skills and corporate skills and all those in real time that sometimes it feels overwhelming how much I don't know. And I really like to understand things and learn, but I think I get caught up in some of that. And so then it turns into a worth of, since I don't know this, is it okay for me to be here? And do I offer? And it's like it's a spiral. Then you add a shot of espresso and it just, there you go.
I feel like if you knew all the things, then you wouldn't be a fit.
Yeah.
It's the fact that you're learning to understand yourself, because what is the thing about what we all decided to create? Being our true selves, being teachable, being a student, and taking action when it means to be even. And sometimes being a student is being the master teacher, and it's okay for me to not know.
Yeah. I feel too like, yeah, one thing too with you guys, and I feel like it's one of the first spaces where I have felt like truly safe to like be me. Like you guys pulled me out of me. Like I thought I was being me. And then I see now in hindsight, like this version of me that I was being like was a different version of me, but it wasn't like core me. So I feel like that creates a little bit of it too, because I'm like, oh my God, like it feels so good to be myself. And they love this version and they love this and they love me. And
so I feel like I'm going to retract or shift part of what you're saying just because I don't want to own it.
Right.
I feel like you pulled you out of you, and we held space for the process of that action. Yeah. That's what I feel. I don't feel like I did anything. I don't feel like I ever do anything other than hold space, see what you're having a hard time seeing, and put a flashlight. I'm like a big light. I'm like, there's a cool chick in there, I swear.
Wait, are you saying I wasn't cool before? What the heck? No. Oh, shit. It's about time we started using sound effects, truly.
I know. What the hell? Wait on that there, dude.
So, but to close that out, yeah, that's kind of where some of that is. But I'm
you did the work, dude.
Yeah, thank
you. You seriously did the work. I don't know. Did we talk about this in the first episode about you, how you came about into my life?
The one that we're airing next week?
No, the first one ever.
Oh, no, because I was like, because I think I'm the next episode too. But it's like me from that season-ish a little bit. But no, I don't think.
Can I say it? Can I share it? Can I share it?
Sure.
The part that I called you and made you watch?
Which, yeah.
The Freudian slip?
Maybe Delicately.
Okay. So Delicately, she was in the interview fully pregnant with baby. And we talk about that. And you'll see it next week, but I'm going to give you a little snippet. And we're sitting there and we're talking, and she says, blah, 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 my ex-husband, but she wasn't.
I said my current husband.
Oh, my current. Is it
Yeah.
current or ex?
It was my current, but
I was-
in this, I'm talking about, and I'm going to be delicate because I want to
respect and
the
honor and
space.
love the space.
great.
Totally. But I think this is really super important, you guys, because it's almost like this marker where Spirit's already showing us a path that we're on, but it's our blind spot because she didn't even see it coming. And that is the reason why I want to share it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I had just said my current husband. Meanwhile, in this episode, I'm talking about I have my dream life. We're talking about how we met and all the stuff that we've done together. And like, I have this dream life. And it was so interesting to watch because with this, eclipse and everything like that, it's kind of like chapters closing. And so that is, coming to a close. And, looking back at that life that I was like, my dream life, like land and property. And I was like, I want a homestead. And now I'm like, I want to travel the world with my besties and help people in whatever way we're called to. And, take our babies with us. And like land would be cool, but I don't need it. It's just like, it's crazy because my whole dream has completely shifted. And so it was a trip to watch, but I also, like at one point when we were on the phone, you're like, is this okay? Like, how are you feeling? And I was like, this is great. I'm more triggered by my ego that's showing up later. Like, more triggered by the ego I'm seeing in myself. I thought I was not being an ego, but
you're like, holy crap.
I'm more triggered by me than this conversation. So that also.
And the crazy thing is, you guys, which it'll go deeper next week, and then I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah.
But what was really crazy too is the first homework I ever gave her, because she started as just a regular session client. I did an intuitive session. I'm very, I don't like getting information. So it was like, give me no information. I'm going to look in your space after you give me permission. And I'm going to give you homework. And that's the first session. So I do the first session with her. And she freaking has the homework of writing down everything she wants in her life. And so she writes down, and I was like, I don't care if I want to grow fairy wings and fly like a fairy, right? Because it's not the point. Still on the list.
Still on the list.
So, I thought you flew last week. No, I'm kidding. Right. So she's sitting here in this interview and she's like, I got everything on the list. Every single thing on the list, which is how we evolved, really. And so we'll get into that later next week. But what was really powerful about it was that she accomplished all these things. And then it was like all of a sudden, all the things she thought she absolutely had to have, now that she accomplished it, she was like, damn it, that actually isn't really what I wanted. And I see this a lot. I see it a lot with relationships. I give the relationship homework, which is epically amazing. And then they come back to me and say, okay, manifested this partner that has all these things on the list, but I don't really want to be with that person. And it's like, yeah, totally get that. So I think that what happens is that we think we want something, but we aren't feeling what we actually are asking for. And so it creates this result, and it comes with the, am I enough? Do I know enough? Is this what I want to do? Is this what I'm manifesting? And the thing is, sometimes, dude, it doesn't matter. Let's just enjoy the time of now and have a good time. And other times it absolutely matters.
Well, and what's beautiful too, I actually just connected this dot. It's like, as I'm saying, like, okay, I hit all these markers. 6 months later, we start working together at Lemurian Life Expo is when I started coming on. And that was the start of this whole other trajectory. So it's really funny because, like, again, I didn't take action on that. I just was like, hey, do you want some help? Kind of going back to what we were talking about, how it zippered. You know what I mean? My life just kind of was like, okay, chapters closing. And then there was a zipper, and then here we are. And now here I am now. And I love what we do. I love the people we meet. I love, I think my favorite going back to retreats is we had someone like, hey, are you guys here in Sedona on a retreat? And we were like, our life is a retreat. So, I mean, kind of, like not directly, but kind of. And I feel like, I don't know. I'm excited to like share that with people. Like I'm really excited about the retreat
I'm excited
and
to
sharing
teach
that with people.
people how to live
Yeah.
simply living.
Yeah.
And the way we teach it is by being it. You
Mhm.
know, I mean, there's not, if I'm doing a retreat at home in Shasta, dude, there's times I'm like, hey guys, I got to go home and check on my kid. And we stop for 10 minutes. And then I'm like, hey, we got to go to Lodge House. Or hey, let's stop at the shop. And then something magical happens every time almost.
Mhm.
Like I had two people sitting in the parking in the garage or the driveway of my house, and then they had a whole experience in the driveway. So,
Yeah.
with a squirrel and a freaking skunk who's dating my cat.
Oh
It's
my
like
gosh.
seriously a thing, and I love it. I wouldn't
She
trade
has
it.
a Pepe Le Pew like actually at
Yes.
her house.
I literally have Pepe Le Pew staying at my house and dating my cat. So,
Yeah.
and my cat's a black cat and white cat.
Yes.
But I love it because it's creating stories. I was talking to somebody today and they were telling me about like, oh my gosh, Heather, do you remember when we were at this retreat and this bug landed on you and spent 4 hours with you? And I'm like, holy crap, I totally forgot about that. I
Mhm.
was coming out of someone's house last week and a big old beetle landed right on my third eye. And I was just talking to it and I was petting it. It's like, that's what retreats are about.
Yeah.
They
I
are
was
about being in the moment.
I was thinking too about like something that I love is about the teaching and like the teaching style is like so let's say for example you're like okay I got to stop and I got to go check on my kid. Like let's say somebody gets triggered by that. What I love is that it's like okay let's face this in real time. So what triggers you? So it's
Yeah.
kind of like teaching it's really truly teaching you how in each and every moment to become aware of it sooner. Like while it's happening and to
Yeah,
face it
and they
while
could
it's
be like,
happening.
"I'm
And
triggered because I just paid money for this retreat, and we're
yeah,
supposed to be doing A, B, and C." And then I laugh and say, "You just signed up for the Heather experience. A, B, and C is currently Z and Y,
yeah,
and we need to proceed with
ABC
that."
was a loose
Right.
outline.
But then what ends up happening, I mean, I haven't actually had that experience ever because what we end up doing is, first of all, everybody knows what they're walking into when they're walking into it. I've never had anybody just do, well, yeah, I think I've had, no, I don't think I've ever had anybody just do one retreat.
Mhm.
And I think what ends up happening, what the most feedback is I get is like, man, that was the most powerful thing. And I didn't even know that was the powerful thing in it. I was like,
Mhm.
dang, Heather, I didn't know sitting in your driveway was going to bring so much stuff up for me that was powerful. And so
Mhm.
what it does is it's helping people understand parts in their daily life that's actually medicine. That's actually something really potent and powerful, but you're trying to bulldoze through it and it actually matters. But that person's saying, "No, we need to get back on here." And you're like, "Okay, sure,
You
let's
wanna
go
talk
back
about
on that."
that? You wanna have a conversation? And I like it too because teaching it in real time, it takes it away. Like, I feel like sometimes, and maybe this is just like my old programming was like, okay, it's gotta be a thing and a journal, and I have to schedule it in and tonight, and, it's like, hey, or you can just like sit with it for a minute when it is actually presently happening
Oh my gosh,
instead
I
of
have to tell you what happened today. You
oh,
just
yeah,
totally
please.
triggered it. And all I
Mhm.
saw was Ben's face. So I was meeting with Matthew. I'm like, I'm pouring Lodge again. And it's been asked of me for a long, long time. And I was really resistant because my ate passed away and I loved him very much. And he was my master teacher. And I just felt it. And I needed time. Apparently I needed years. And so, but the request is coming. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to start pouring lunch. So I go to meet with Matthew today and I got my drum and my fan and my stuff and I'm going to do this. And Matthew and we haven't gotten together in a long time. So we're just kind of talking and checking in on where we're at. And all of a sudden he goes, and all I could hear was Ben's voice. He goes, I realize that you're all about flow. And I just was like, oh my gosh, it's definitely my existence because all week someone's
Yeah.
been saying, I realize that you're all about flow and all, but can we talk about the
Yes,
structure for a
right,
minute?
right. You know what was funny? I had this, like, vision this, like, week of, like, okay, and this might be really silly, but it was like, you're like the kite, right? And it's like because I was thinking about the structure, because one of the beautiful things, like going back to like us and how we work and like the corporate thing and all that, is like we get it done in our flow and in a grounded way and in our structure, and our structure changes, and the structure we set up is just a baseline. And then I can't tell you how many times we've been at our event and it's like, oh, actually we're going to switch jobs, and we just do this, left and right, and everything gets done. And I don't
Well,
know, we feel
only if Cliff has a backpack of jerky.
only and sandals. It's not as effective if he's in
And the
tennis shoes.
electrolytes, he had it all fanned out at NLE, and he's trying to give us, me and Thamia, he's trying to give us freaking jerky and
Yeah.
electrolytes, and this lady runs by and takes it out of his hand.
Yes. Oh, she's like, wait, can I have these? We're like,
She was, yeah.
who you?
That's what this is about, you guys.
Yeah.
It's about enjoying the process. It doesn't mean we're not going to cry, we're not going to feel things. It doesn't mean we're not going to ramble and be in the flow or be in the structure or be in the whatever moment that we are. It's about what can we do to enjoy the process, because
Yes.
I think that's what we need.
And let ourselves be ourselves through the process. And there are times where it's like we hold each other accountable and we're like, hey, dude, can you get me this homework, please? So I can go on with my next step. But it's really like flowy. So the vision that came to me was like the kite, and you're like the kite, and you're up in the air and you're floating, and I have the string. And sometimes I climb up the string to talk to you up there. And then I'm up there and we're the string, and we're the kite, and we're talking and we're getting stuff done. And then sometimes I climb back down. And then sometimes I go like this and I pull you down, like, hey, can we talk about this? And then I put you back up. But it was just like this funny, like,
Ben and Cliff have got 2 extra strings, and Tina, she's got a string with a weight. She's like,
yeah,
all you guys are floating now, and
Yeah.
I gotta hold all of you.
Totally. It was the funniest thing. I was like, that is kind of how it goes. We're like pulling the string down. I'm like, hey, okay, go back up there. No, you got stuff to do. And just
I
letting
think
everybody
that's the
be
greatest way to
themselves.
be. Yes.
I love it. Like letting everybody have their flow in their structure. And
Yeah.
and then also
do it the way somebody else in our team does it in order for it to be done properly. And that is what we're teaching. We're teaching community and diversity. Oh my gosh, you guys. I don't know if I can get to it, but I'm going to try. I know we're nearing the end, but I got to tell this story. Does anybody know the difference between a wasp nest? I mean, there's probably a lot, but a difference between a wasp nest and a beehive.
I know the difference in what they look like and all that. I'm waiting for people to talk in the chat. I know somebody's got to have it.
Okay. Check this out. Okay. So
we need confetti.
I know, right?
Can we work on the confetti?
So what that is, and I probably will not pick it up again. But what that is that's a wasp nest. And for my birthday last year, my dad gave me a wasp nest for my birthday. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but it's actually not.
If you knew her dad, it's not.
Yeah, he's kind of like the forest dude. And then I left it. So then Christmas, he repackaged it, and it was my Christmas present. I left it again. And then I think at the end of January, I brought it home and put it in my tree in the shop here. But the thing is that I wanted to like understand what's going on with the wasp. And what I realized is that a beehive, bees can only sting once. Sometimes they'll get 2 stings in, but they usually can only sting once and they die. And a beehive's dedication is to the queen. That's it. They're drones. Their job is to be there for the queen. That's an end of story. They don't really have sovereignty. They've chosen to dedicate their lives to pollinate, make honey, and serve the queen. Now, the wasp hive is not that way. Wasps can sting over and over again. They're sovereign, they're independent, but they're also collective, and they come back to their hive to serve the whole. And I thought, oh my gosh.
I love that.
Right?
MMM.
I know, right? So, so for me, it was like I started when I looked it up because I was like, "Holy crap! My dad just gave me a wasp. Is that a wasp nest? Is that a bad omen?"
Well, it's like, yeah, it's like, okay, I know this is a sign, but in which direction?
Right, but the wasp is sovereign and
Mm.
communal, and what we are is we're we're a
MMM.
diverse group that through us independently showing up who we are, accepting that, supporting that, we become, I can't even speak. I'm going to say
You're doing
this
great.
again because I want it to be a
Keep
good
it up.
clip. So, by each of us independently being who we are and showing up in our own independent ways and supporting each other's own independent ways and being aware of how each other needs support by being the balance of that, we now become a communal community through our independent sovereignty. And that is what I want to be about. That's what I'm here to do. I want to freaking show up as the example, be flawed and all, and be the best version of myself I can possibly be, and allow my flaws to be a blessing. Why? Because they're not really flaws. They're my pieces of me that get to be unique and different. And if I'm triggering somebody, then maybe that's the work they need to do. And if I'm delivering medicine to somebody, then I'm grateful to hold space for you. And I feel like through that, whoever that person is on the other side of it is bringing that same opportunity to me.
Mhm.
And that's what the wasp does. And sometimes it stings like a son of a bitch. And sometimes they just crawl on you and move on. But either way, it's medicine.
I love that. I didn't know that about wasps.
I didn't either.
I love that.
But then when I found out, I was like, holy crap, that makes total sense.
Yeah, that really does.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I don't know where to go from there. That was good. We need a minute for the wasp medicine because you would think like a wasp would be intense and like not really like a great thing. Like that's how I've connected to it.
Right?
But to hear that, and we've been seeing bees everywhere, and we're like bees, family, and I think there is still that beautiful like bee
Dude,
medicine
I'm
and
totally
bunnies and
here
all
to
that.
be
But
present for a bee. And I feel like they serve a lot and they've chosen to be in service. But I
Mhm.
also feel like, why would we turn down the wasp? Because it's also in service in a sovereign way. And all of us on this planet are trying to figure out how to be sovereign. And some people choose to be in service, and some people need people to choose to be in service. Like, I need extra help. I do. I need extra help. I'm doing a lot of things and there's no freaking way I could do it if it was an I ship. But because we're a we ship, it makes things possible. I can't do what I do without all the people in my life that help me do that. Some people are showing up in my personal, some people are showing up in my business, some people are showing up in my spiritual, and some the core people made expand and grow show up in all of it.
Mhm.
And my prayer is, how am I showing up for you? And can I give that exchange? Because that matters. It
Mhm.
freaking matters, man. And so I'm down with being in the WASP family. Let's be
Me too.
sovereign and communal, man.
Yeah, I love it.
I love the skunk, don't love the smell.
Yes.
But you know what
I
the skunk
also
means?
no.
Graceful boundaries,
Oh,
right?
so Luna's learning graceful boundaries.
Luna is learning Luna.
Luna's doing her thing out there.
This morning I got up to go to the bathroom and my window was open in the bathroom, and I look out the window because I heard my dog's, like, she's deaf, so her
Mhm.
collar jingles. And so I heard her jingling. I look out the window. Luna is on the fence. Portia, my white dog, is running to the other part of the fence, and they're chasing cats out of my backyard
Oh my gosh.
together as a team.
That's hilarious.
Mhm.
That so checks out. That was Luna and Porsche.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, that is funny.
So, okay, we kind of got into the animal totems. I love this. I want you guys to tell me, what is your favorite animal totem and why? And if you have multiple, share them all. I freaking love animals. I'm like a sea of totems. I even love bugs, and I want a rose gold spider. So
Oh my gosh, that's a whole thing. A rose gold tarantula.
yes, so beautiful. I want to snuggle it. I haven't bought it because the guy was telling me you can't hold them. But the guy I met in Germany at the pet store, he says he holds his tarantulas all the time. So I have a friend, Holly, that lives here who's like this spider lady all the way. She puts on special gloves to play with her spiders. So I'm going to call her and find out. But I want a rose gold tarantula.
I feel like if anybody's going to be able to hold a tarantula, it's going to be you. So I think you just find the one that you connect with if you do, and you just go for it.
I agree.
But
I like
yeah.
your thinking.
Yeah, I mean, that's just been my experience of observing it. It's like, oh, there's the crazy dog. Oh, Heather's got him calm. Okay.
Oh my God.
So, you know, yeah, that would be. Yeah. So, okay, so we have the retreat, the October 22nd to the 26th.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
guys
think we
can go
ever set the
online,
date.
sign up.
Yeah.
Huh?
I just put the date out. I was like, we never set the dates.
Oh yeah, 10/22. And if you guys are interested, just go online. If you want to ask questions about it, ask questions. If you want to do a different retreat, do a different retreat. If you just
Yeah.
want to ask questions and you don't want to do the retreat, ask questions.
Yeah.
We're a community. We're not attached. We don't, well, Adriana might be. We're not attached.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. We're getting there.
I feel like you're amazing and beautiful.
Oh,
and
that's cutting.
perfect. And at a pause. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we've got a couple more minutes left. We were listening. Sorry for the pause, guys. We were listening to Cliff's instructions. I really want to get him on the show. If anybody else wants to get on the show and talk about the things and talk about the topics, one of the things that, we did cover self-observation a little bit. Really, really encourage you guys this week, observe yourselves. Observe where you're showing yourself what you need, observe where you're feeling any kind of trigger. And here's another thing, observe where you're actually not doing what you want to do. How many times during the day or the week are you doing something because somebody in your life has changed your plan and wants you to do it, but your soul doesn't want to? And why aren't you speaking your truth? And in that speaking of the truth, are you delivering it from a place of resentment and frustration? Or are you delivering it from your heart where it can be a joyful transformation? That is a really important question, I think, when we're self-observing.
Oops.
Right.
Uh-oh, what did I just do?
So
I changed something.